Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Harmony One. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Also, there is a donation link down below in the description. Feel free to donate to the kids in Gaza. If you can spare a few dollars, that's going to be really helpful. And let's get straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, so after printing this local bottom in October 2023, Harmony One went up by approximately 163%, so not much in comparison to some other altcoins that did bigger gains. Now, taking a look at this most recent pullback, we went down 44% and we're kind of hanging around the 20 MA as of right now, and we're running into it as resistance. So this is once again the daily chart. You can see we initially retested the 20 MA as resistance over here at the start of the month. So we dropped below, had a retracement, bounce off the 20, and then we print a lower low. The same thing is happening right now. We're running into the 20 and we're getting potentially another rejection down, and we'll be looking for some sort of a major support level to hold us up. And we're gonna look at a few levels here on the daily chart, and then we'll take a look at the weekly chart to get a better idea of what we can be expecting in the long term. So as of right now, with this retracement, we landed on the 0.382 Fibonacci, which is something that we retested as well here in December last year with a wick, and then we obviously had that massive move, and then with this retracement here we went down to 0.01382 cents and another bounce from that area. But with the third time coming down to that exact same level, I do think there's a possibility of us dropping even dropping below that level. So the Fibonacci retracement that we have set up here is from the local bottom in October last year to the local high in February 2023. And then you printed the bottom, obviously, you broke above the golden ratio, which was really powerful, and then you ran into the 0.786 Fibonacci at 0.02279 cents. Obviously, we had this set up in advance. I'm pretty sure the past few videos we looked at this structure, and if you were looking to take some profits, you could have either sold some tokens at 0.0215, and then you could have taken more profits at 0.02279. These are two levels that we had on the charts. As you can see, the white trend line, for example, was a major resistance level. So we'll add the price tag there. And if we go back in November 2022, we had a massive rejection from that price, from that level. So that's why I gave you that price, and that resistance level is there for that particular reason. And especially if you consider the fact that we got really overextended, we were far away from the 20 EMA, and if you pull up the RSI, which we're going to do in a bit, you would have seen that we're kind of getting a bit too crazy here. So now we're taking a nice dip, which is fine. 43% is pretty good. I would say you can start averaging in at the current prices. And if you're looking to buy even lower, feel free to set up some buy limit orders. For example, your next fib level here is going to be 0.0236. Sorry, it's 0.236 actually at the price of 0.01154. Now this level hasn't been retested that many times. I would say we do drop below it. We did that in 2022, in 2023 a few times, but we haven't really had a massive support in this region, which we could this time around. What we can also do is set up another Fibonacci retracement, but this time with targets to the downside, just to see what we can be expecting. So the golden ratio here is sitting at 0.01256, as you can see, and that's the most important level here on this fractal. And you can see we had a nice bounce off of that in November twice actually. So that was a good price to pick up some tokens. And right now, once we return to this level, it's going to be a good price to pick up some tokens as well. And then you have the 0.786 at 0.01063 cents. But this is just one way for you to bring up some more levels to kind of set up the buy limit orders in advance. But I'm going to bring back the larger fib because that's more important. So in the grand scheme of things, we want to be holding the 0.236 because for an uptrend, we want to be printing higher lows and higher highs. So if we print this bottom here, let's say at 0.01154, the next leg up, I want to see a break of this January 2024 high. And preferably, I'd like to see this February 2023 high broken as well. Because as long as we are, printing lower lows and lower highs, we're not really doing anything. Because in relation to what we're seeing, what we've seen in 2022 and 2023, this doesn't tell me that the bear market bottom has been printed. So by all means, if we have a flash crash, any sort of a black swan event, we could dump and potentially even take out this low here. So that's a possibility specifically for Harmony here because we haven't been that bullish. Some other altcoins obviously are printing all-time high prices at this point, but we can't say the same for Harmony 1. We're simply printing lower highs and lower lows. So this is a downtrend. Until we break above the August 2022 high, we're not out of the woods. So here at roughly 0.0334 cents, that's going to be an important level for us to break. That's going to be the August 2022 high that needs to be broken. And at that point, we can say that the bear market bottom has been printed. And of course, we want to solidify above that level as well. So let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. All right, taking a look at the weekly. So we're going to zoom in a bit here, and you can see that we do have a descending resistance trend line, and this is exactly what I was talking about. So you have multiple bounces, and each bounce is lower than the previous one, and right now we did have a wick or two towards the teal trend line. And also you can notice that the 55 EMA is there as well, massive resistance level for us to break. And once we get eventually the bullish cross, when the 20 crosses above the 55, that is going to be your bull market confirmation. And of course, the break of the August 2022 high is a very important thing that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Now, if you're buying Harmony 1 for the long term, I don't think this is a huge issue for you. In fact, this is even better because the longer we kind of consolidate in these lower regions, the better it is for you because you can accumulate a large position at cheaper prices. I would keep an eye on the support block that we set up based on the 2020 and 2019 touches. We covered this in many videos already, but between 0.0102 down to 0.0077, we have a massive opportunity here to get Harmony 1 tokens. We had this set up way in advance before we even dropped here in December 2022. So this was a really good entry point. And then you have, actually, no, I think we set this up after December 2022. And I said, when we come back, that's going to be a really good entry point. So we had a bounce from that resistance level, came back down into the support, and we retested the block once again. And then we retested the block over here. So if you get your average buy-in price somewhere within the realms of this blue block, that's an incredible entry point because, to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to be dropping below this block unless we have a black swan event that may, have us wick below this low potentially with a V-shaped recovery. So I don't think, generally speaking, I don't think we're going to be seeing a massive drop below this blue block. But of course, I can never guess what's going to happen in the future. I'm just giving you my opinions. This is not financial advice by any means. So feel free to continue dollar cost averaging, especially off of this level here. You can see that we do have a nice bounce off of 0.0130. We saw a bounce in November 2022, and we saw this level retested as resistance in June 2023. And we kind of held it as support here throughout November in 2023. So this was a really good, this is a really strong level. I'm going to add the price tag there. So 0.0130 is a massive level. And then of course you have this blue block. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Harmony One. Not a lot has happened with the project, honestly, in terms of the price action. I don't own any Harmony One, so I don't follow the project that closely. I have seen some of the comments saying that, well, you can't really do a TA unless you account for the fundamentals, and I do agree to an extent, but I don't think Harmony One is going to do anything. Like, I don't think this is a revolutionizing sort of project, if you get what I'm saying. I don't think this is gonna change the game or change you know, everyone's perception on crypto, if you get what I'm saying. Of course, there are some bullish events that could come out of nowhere or some announcements that could pump the price, but I think looking at it as a high cap altcoin is what I'm doing here, and I'm not expecting, you know, 1000x on this, and I'm not expecting this to do a 5x during the bull market. I think that reaching the all-time high is at least what we can do with Harmony One. And of course, depending on your research and what you think of the project, you can set up your targets. But based on the fib here, what we have is the minimal target is going to be at 95 cents or 94.5 cents if you want to be precise. And this is based on the bottom in October and the all-time high in January 2022. That's what we have based on the Fibonacci. And quickly taking a look at the stochastic and the RSI. So as for the RSI, we do have a massive support trend line here that we could come back down to and retest that if we have any sort of a major pullback. So keep that in mind, just have this trend line drawn out on the weekly chart. As for the stochastic, we are on our way down to the oversold as we were back here in August, July, June 2023 up until October. So if we do end up coming back down below the index of 20, make sure you are, you know, targeting those prices there, because that's a really good region to be buying, especially if the RSI pulls back down. That is usually a good point that is suggesting a bottom. For example, here in December 2022, the RSI, the stochastic were in sync, and then we had this bottom out structure or this sideways channel for a bit during summer 2023, where the RSI and the stochastic were in sync. And then we take a look at the MACD. We are potentially going to be looking at a bearish cross. And if we take a look at the previous bearish cross, that was in May 2023. Let me see. So that signaled this downtrend that we got, right? So this was your confirmation of that downtrend in May. So if we get another bearish cross here, this could be, you know, this could be a little warning telling us that we might just end up, you know, going sideways for a bit, or, you know, maybe we're going to print a higher low, but we could still drop slightly lower than what we've seen over here in January 2024. But that's just what I think based on the charts. Let me know what you think. Let me know what are your targets for the bull market. I appreciate you all, and let me know what you think. Take care and goodbye.